about the Queen Charlotte Islands, which brings to me a feeling of nostalgic enchantment. There's the west wind, clean, from across the Pacific. Then, by caprice, the southeaster, dark sky, and rain to transport you back to the formative days of the Earth. These extremes have a violent, vitalizing effect, which gives one a feeling of adventure while doing nothing, a favorite pastime among the citizens.
And well, when I was a boy, people always said that you had...
I've lived here all my life. I was born here on the island. And I don't know, it always seems that you want to... I've gone away, but I always seem to want to come back. I don't know just what it is. There's something about the place that keeps pulling us back here, I guess. Because it's home, maybe that's part of it.
There's a happy feeling being here at home, the most peaceful feeling I have ever known. Walking under the open sky, feeling the wind as it passes by. Oh, there's nowhere else I would rather go, because it's home, it's home, because it's home.
When you walk the beach of the Charlottes while on your summer tour, and you see the footprint of a great, hairy man, it is a Gogeet spoor. A Gogeet is a drowned undead, well based on Haida lore. He cannot cross o'er water or ever leave the shore, but ever bound upon the earth just above the sod to soar. In the moonlight, he's a loner, eyes of baleful glow. If you see him, do not tell, nor let any other hear, but pass him off as a dream, and never show your fear. Last night, I saw a hairy one. But just to break the spell, I must confess, dear children, he was a hippie from Tillel. Looks like our new game warden's getting an early start this morning. Look at here, Polly, a baby raccoon. Looks like we got another orphan to take care of, eh? People all over are looking for peace and solitude. And more of them are coming out to the islands. I guess we're not so remote anymore. But they're going to have to slow down a bit and accept the way we do things here. Things like Indian time, for instance, just means that you do things when you get around to it. I know there's no use closing my eyes to the fact that folks like Joe, tourists there, are going to bring changes, and I don't look forward to it. But who's to say what's good and what's bad in the long run? For a person coming here to stay, it may be hard, but it'll be worthwhile, depending on how much he puts out. No artificial entertainment here, no catering provided. But there's real people, and they are the real charm of the islands. And a man has to learn to know the difference between being alone and being lonely. Being lonely is the only thing these islands don't have time for. And time, I guess, is the thing we have most of here. So we use a lot of it, whatever we're doing. In the North Beach sands lives the razor clam, a retiring little critter that don't give a damn. He faces the world with his posterior, while the surging tide cools his interior. He's like a ship without a rudder. Where his head should be, he wears an udder. This brings me to a thoughtful frown. He's like most of the guys in Massetown. These islands are the traditional homeland of the Haida Indians. Here they built their villages, fashioned their canoes, carved their totems. And here they welcomed the white man, who brought strange new customs and strange new weapons and strange new diseases. Huge is the heart of this people to share their home with us and to be our friends. Feel kind of sorry for old Joe. We'd like him to enjoy himself, enjoy the surroundings. But how can he with all the hurry? He really should learn to adjust to the pace and, well, adjust.
Oh, the land is fair and the wind is free. There's laughter in the air. Do you hear? Do you see? There's a lifetime to go and so many things to know. There's you and me. That's the way it ought to be. That's the way it ought to be. There's a meadow wide and a mountain high. There's a world outside, our limit is the sky. There's a lifetime to go and so many things to know. There's you and me, that's the way it ought to be. That's the way it ought to be.
Once plied their trade here, and the fur traders before them. These islands even shared in the gold rush of the early 50s, 1850s that is. But what mining that was done to any extent was copper and coal. A number of proposed railways never saw the light of day. But the logging and the fishing still flourish, so I guess gold is where you find it. At the turn of the century, there were only about 40 white people here. But then, Vancouver to Masset was a 3-day trip and cost $26. Today, well, we have more accommodation, some modern, some rustic, but there's still lots of room and still no great rush. Poor Joe. Schedule or no schedule, he's missed the ferry.